Right, okay. First of all, with regard to using Adobe Express, the first thing I want to stress with this is it's not about being perfect first time. It's about being creative, exploring it, having fun with it, and then the next time you use it, you'll be better. It's like anything. The first time you do something, you're not very good at it, and you get better. And the first time the kids will use it, if you decide to use it with the kids, it'll be exactly the same. But then the second time you use it, they'll get better and better and better until they're really fluent at it. I've used it since the end of the summer holiday, and now I'm trying to deliver some training on it. So fingers crossed, you get a nice experience from it. So how do you load up Adobe Express? First of all of the devices that you're on, if you're using one of the UCC devices, should have the Adobe Express app on it. So if you go down to search and type in Adobe Express, you should have the app that you can use. And that is a sort of a far smoother experience. It still does link to certain things online as well, but that's what I'm going to use. Alternatively, you can do a Google search. I think the website, if you want to go to it, is new.express.adobe.com. You get exactly the same view, whether you do it on the internet or whether you use the app, but it's just a bit more user-friendly, I think. Okay, so first of all, I want you to load up Adobe Express. Now, because you're logged into your school computers, you should hopefully see the screen the same as me. If you don't, and it asks you to log in with a Microsoft account and use your school username or email and password, and it should let you in. You should get this display here. If you don't, let me know. We'll carry on. Does anyone who's not managed to load up that home page? Are we all at the same point? Yep. All good? You want the website? The login with Microsoft account, yeah. Okay, first thing, right? All your stuff that you create is going to get put in this folder here yourself. Okay, that's great. That something's gone wrong. Let's try again. So there you go. This is all of my stuff just here. Okay, I've got some folders at the top which I've sorted things into. So anything that you create automatically saves. But it's really good to get into the habit. The first thing you do when you create something new is to rename it. So we're going to do that every time we create something new. To get back to that sort of home page, you've got your little Adobe Express symbol. If ever you click that at any point, it takes you back to this screen here, and you have the same options as what you had when you first logged in. So that's the first really useful thing to know. Okay. Now, what we're going to do to start off with is a guided activity. There are loads of guided activities that you can do to help you learn how to use it. But we're going to use a bit of generative AI, and we're going to create our own generated self-portrait with a few words about ourselves. So what I want you to do, down the left-hand side, you should see a Learn button. Click on that. And at the top, just here, you've got loads of different things that you can look at, but we're going to go to the guided activities. And if you scroll down, you should see Illustrate a creative self-portrait. Okay, so if you click on that, that should load up for you. And you should get something that looks a little bit like this. I don't need me to rewind. Are we okay? Okay, that's fine. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll model it, and then I'll give you a little bit of time to do it yourself. So while yours are loaded up and whatever, you can see what I'm doing, and then you can kind of replicate it. The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to edit the words that are in here. Okay, so if you click on it, you get all the details of it, the effects, animations if you want to add it. Double click to actually edit it. So I want to change all of these words here. So I'm going to highlight all of them. I'm going to put some things to do with me. So first of all, my name is Steve Jones, I'm going to put that at the top. I'm a maths teacher. I'll put that in. I'm using Adobe Express right now, so let's put Adobe Express in there. It's got a sort of, what's it called? An effect called dynamic. So basically, as you're typing, it will fit everything into that space. So that's why some of the words are bigger and smaller. You can obviously change that if you want to. What other words describe me? I like football. The girls' football. Shout some more words about me, please. I've got maths already. Muscular. Do you really want me to? Let's put it. Muscular. Thank you. That's from Mr. Jarvis. Minecraft. Yeah, I do love a bit of Minecraft. Need some short words. I'm going to pretend I'm fun. What else can I have at the end? What was that? Oh, odds. I didn't. Yeah, like odds, like better. I like a bit better. There you go. So I've filled all my words up there. I want you to do the same thing. So put some words in to describe yourself. There you go. Steve Jones, Master, Adobe Express, football, muscular, Minecraft, fun, odds. Now, what I said we were going to do at the very start, when we first start any project, I said we was going to rename it, and then we never did that. So the other thing that's really important that you do is you see at the top, just here, it says untitled 15th of October, whatever. Really important that you go in there and you change it to whatever you want to call it. So we can just call this task 1 if you want to, and hit enter, and it will rename it for you. That now appears in your stuff, but with a correct name. It would have appeared in there anyway, but it would have had that horrible naming format based on the time and date that you went in and created it. So now it's actually got a name that we can reference. We know what we're looking for. Okay. More interestingly than that, because we all know how to change text and stuff, if you click on the image at the background, I'm sure you'll agree that that looks nothing like me for many reasons, probably most of the fact it's got hair and I don't. So if I click on this, we get a load of image options. I want to generate a new image to put in there, and I want to try and get something that matches up to me a little bit more. So if I click on that, you can see what has been generated so far. Portrait of a girl with dark skin, curly hair, and green eyes in a cartoon style. Okay, you've also got other options down here. I'm not going to change any of these, but if you want to have a slightly different content type, you want it to be more realistic, like a photo, a graphic work, you can change that, and you can obviously include that in your description for AI when you generate it. So I'm going to go portrait of a man with definitely light skin because I hate the sun and I hide away from it. Do we go bold or do we go no hair? Bold, and I've got blue eyes. Also got black glasses on. And we'll keep it in a cartoon style. Now, if I hit generate, what will happen is usually it generates 4 different options for you, and you can scroll down and see them. If you're not happy with any of them, you can go back and you can generate again. Or I think you can scroll down on this particular window and you can say, right, I want some more. So, ooh, they're making me look far too cool. I think the blue tint on the glasses is definitely not me. And it's certainly not in my attire either, is it? So this is where I now go back and go, okay, it's not bad what they've created, but let's be a little bit more specific. Black glasses with a clear lens. See what happens with that. And I'm wearing a blue and white stripy shirt with blue tie. See what happens again. So if I hit generate or hit enter, it will give you some more options. So what I want you to do, that's your first sort of task. Change the words to describe you and then find an image that you can generate which looks like you. Oh, look at these. Which one do you reckon? We've got this one here. This one just here. You reckon that one? Or this one?
Yeah.
This one? or we've got this one there. I don't like that one. Yeah, we'll go with the one that looks a little bit more good looking. There you go. So that's me there, done. And it automatically saves for you. So there you go. That's my first task done for you. If you wanted to follow along down the right hand side, you've got the learn thing just here, which kind of gives you the instructions. So you can do the guiding activities at home by yourself. You can go and look at other things that you might want to do. You can play the videos. So you can listen along and it will tell you what you need to do. There you go. That's mine. I'll give you a little bit of time to do your own. Still no one from Discovery joining us yet. But I feel trapped out. I'm just going to get up and walk around and have a look at what we're doing, like I would do in a lesson. That is generating. So if you click on the image in the background, and then you've got generate images. If you don't like using the key, like the mouse pad or what have you, just remember it's touchscreen, so you can just tap on things instead of clicking, and it will work the same way. Amy, she's put some very descriptive words into making herself look good.
Really?
Amy, tell me what you wrote, because I need to put them in mine.
What, as my description of what I'd like to say?
Did you put girl in there?
Woman.
You go for a realistic style.
Yeah, I was trying to, but it's not. That is not what I look like at all.
Just need to change the descriptors a little bit.
You know, but it's just freaky how. Yeah.
And do you know what the great thing about the generative AI is? This is where if you're doing a subject where they've got to be particularly good with words, describing things, you can get them to generate an image, and then they look at it and they go, well, that's not exactly what I want. A bit like that first one, it had blue tinted glasses, it didn't have my shirt on, so I go, okay, how do I change what I've written? And it's working on their descriptive skills and so on. Yep. So the other thing with generative AI on Adobe Express is it's all from an educational perspective. So if you try doing anything inappropriate of any sort, it will block it out. So I don't know whether, but it might be that like the nose rings, it's going, oh no, we can't have. Well, I don't think it's inappropriate, but maybe they see it in an educational context as being it. So that's maybe why it's not putting it in. But yeah, I don't know. I might be completely wrong. It might be that there's just far too many descriptors and it's focusing on the key things as opposed to that specific thing. How are we doing? Do we need a little bit longer? Do you want a little bit longer, or if we managed to generate our image, if we got some text changed and so on, we'll obviously step it up a little bit and make it a little bit harder. Got what we wanted? All good? Dave, you look a little bit concerned over there. You okay? Oh, me too. Me too. Even I can find out what I look like with hair as well. I can generate that and see if I look any better. You can authentic as well. So the other thing that you can obviously then do, you can share the image. So if, for example, I've got one that I want to share with another student or another teacher, for example, I can share it. I can create a link to it as well, so people can just view it. but I can also download it to my device because it's an image. So if I hit download, I can say, right, I want it as a JPEG or a PNG, and download, and it will take it to your downloads folder. So if we were, for example, creating a website, you might want to put that image on. You can create it in Adobe Express and download it. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to something more exciting. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? We've just generated an image of ourselves. Let's go back to Adobe Express to our home page. So first of all, let's go to your stuff. Let's just check it's in there. You can see mine is in there, named as Task 1. Just check that yours is in there as well. Make sure you've renamed it. If not, you can just click back on it, and then you go back up to the top and rename it. Or you can actually just rename it directly from your stuff. There's the 3 dots in the corner, and you can rename. Now, on top of using, what are they called? I'll get it right. On top of using the guided activities just to help yourself learn, because that's how I did a lot of my learning, just playing around with things. You've also got templates down these left-hand sides. You can search for specific templates that you want at the top. So these are really good because there's loads of stuff in there, and it's just a case of finding what you need, double-clicking in the boxes, changing the text. So you can very quickly get a really nice layout of something, copying a theme that's on here, and all you need to do is change the text or the photo or whatever, but the sort of formatting's there for you. Okay, right, next thing. Let's use the drawing tool. So if you go back to your home page, like I've done here, you can get there by pressing your Adobe Express button. If you scroll down, okay, we haven't actually looked at this page here. There's loads of sort of boxes of things that you can do. So you can see generate an image, design a book, bento box, create a poster, create a video, try fun guided activities. That's another way I think of getting there other than using the learn. Animate character. That's what hopefully we'll get to do at the end. Build a web page, create a presentation. We're going to go to create a drawing, this one just here. Okay, so you click on that. It will load you up a nice little post-it size note drawing. Now, again, when you go in here, you've got some preset templates, which if you wanted to use, you can use them as like coloring pages or things like that. You can obviously select them, but we're not going to do that. That's the wrong button. There we go. Right. A few things on the right-hand side. We've got our brushes. So most important thing is resizing it. So depending on the number you have, it determines the size. You've obviously got your color options here, and you've got lots of different styles of brushes that you can see down the bottom there. I'm not just wondering if I can, that's kind of fixed at the top. Anything that's in a black color, so like the square, the triangle, the wobbly line, etc., you can actually select the color that you want that to be. If it's already got a color in there, like asterisk, cheesy, then unfortunately that color is fixed. Obviously, I don't think we'd have some sort of green cheesy color. We'd obviously associate it with yellow or orangey color like it is there. But what I want us to do to start off with is select any one you like. So let's go with a rainbow chew. And I want you to cover the whole of your background in just random colors. Make it as colorful as you can. You cannot cheat on this because it won't work. If you change your background color, won't be able to do what I want you to. Okay, so you're just gonna go all over your screen in a random color, and then you can pick another one. So I'll go to rainbow row. There we go. I'll color that in, and let's have a look. I've got lots of rainbows here. Let's get some rainbow string, and anything that is a sort of white space, I want you to try and cover it up as best you can. Okay, as minimal white space as possible. Maybe finish off with a star scatter. What else have we got at the top? Dotted lines. Let's do that in a nice yellow colour. Okay, so hopefully, like me, your canvas is pretty like covered. You might have gone, when I first did this, I did it all in a shade of blue because blue is my favourite colour. You might have just gone one colour. You might have just gone completely crazy like I've done there. Let's see if there's any more spaces I can kind of fill in. Okay. So next option we've got down the left-hand side is the eraser. Again, you've got different options for your eraser. We're going to keep it as a hard round one for now. And as for before, you can adjust the size of it. So you're about more or less. So what I want us to do now, this is the tricky part, depending on whatever your initial of your name begins with, is we are going to rub out parts of your initial so that the coloured part is the initial of your letter, of your first name. Does that make sense? That was a very bad explanation. So, for instance, my name is Steve, so I'm going to make an S shape. I'm going to start off in a very sort of boring calculator style, particularly as a maths teacher. So I'm going to like rub away this bit just here, and then rub away this bit just here. And you can kind of see how I've got a very bad S shape there. So when I said trying things out and not being very successful, you see I'm not very successful there at all. So if you don't like it, you can undo, and I can try again. I can maybe go a bit more like that. Okay, so I'm kind of getting my S shape there a little bit better. Okay. Now, some other things that you might find useful as well is if you click and drag and hold, it actually turns it into a straight line that you're erasing, which if you're holding, you can then move that around and you can do straight lines. So if, for example, like Amy, you've got the A going up, that might be quite useful to get those diagonals going up. Likewise, though, it's actually very clever. If you've got certain shapes in your name, like curves, O's, I can draw a circle, for example, press and hold. And you can see now I've got a circle which I can adjust the size of. And I can even do it if I draw a triangle. It will do it point to point, so it won't be a perfect triangle, but you can see there that shape that I've drawn, I can rotate it around, I can put it wherever I want to. Okay. So if you draw a straight line and then press and hold on it, so I think with your cursor, you should be able to do it with cursor as well. So if, for example, you press the left mouse button down and then just leave it pressed but stay stationary at the end. So that was using my left mouse button just there. So as soon as you've drawn the shape or the line, for example, that you want, just stop. So there's my line, and then just stop. Oh, you see there, I moved a little bit at the end, so it's got a little. Right. So what I want you to do now, your second task. Oh, and Joe, I forgot to tell you again, really bad at this. Make sure you rename in the top left corner, task 2. I want you to make your nice colourful background turn it into the initial of the first letter of your name. That was a better explanation, wasn't it? Let's see how badly I do. I think, Sophie, we've got reasonably difficult names. Amy, you've got a lot going on, but yours are kind of straight edges, aren't they? So not bad. F, that's kind of straight edges. That's very good. You know what? Yeah, that's really good. That is. Yeah, basically, yeah. Love it, Dave. Nice. And say, this is why I teach maths and not art. Amy, how are you doing as my fellow maths teacher? Are we very bad at this, or? Well, let's see. Spin it around. Let me see. There you go. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it, to be honest. Maybe I need a little bit more curve on this bit. That's not bad. Yeah, let's go on, Deb. Oh, did you? That's really good. That is. Although you've got, I think yours is the nice simple letter to do, but it's spot on. I love it. Yeah. That, you know what? That's a pretty funky A. I'll give you that one. Right. All right. How are we doing? Do we want a little bit longer doing our initial, or are we spot on? We're good. We'll step up again. We'll do something a little bit more creative than that. Okay. So the next bit is just really a demo for you. When I actually watched the video and we did this as part of the sort of the an ACE video that I watched, they kind of touched on it. I was like, Joe, that actually sounds really interesting. So I went and had a look at how to use it. I thought, Joe, what? I will show you how it's done. If you want to follow along, feel free. But I'm going to do it very quickly, and I'll leave you to kind of explore it in your own time. But I think it's a nice feature, or two features, that are worth doing. So first of all, make sure you've named it Task 2 or whatever you want to call it. We're going to go back to the home page. Now, if you want to just watch this bit, feel free. If you want to follow along and try and do it yourself, that's also fine. Now, if we go down to create a poster, click on this. Again, we should get a bunch of templates. We're going to ignore them for now. So I'm going to do a 2-in-1 here. Okay, first of all, I'm going to add some text to this poster. I'll talk more about the features down the left-hand side in a second. But quite often in schools, we give certificates out, right? So what you could do, and I'm not going to make a really fancy certificate now, but we could say this is to certify that. And then we could put someone's name in here. So we can maybe duplicate this. So click the 3 dots, duplicate, and say, right, I want this to appear a little bit further down. And we're going to have first name at the front. And again, I can kind of drag this out and go, okay, yeah, I want this bit to definitely be centralized. Which you can't see where it is. It's down, that's because it's over here. There we go. And then I can duplicate this again and say, right, first name, surname. And I can then, let's duplicate the one at the top again. I'll put it right down the bottom. And I'm going to put in there, has been awesome. There we go. So that's my really, really bad certificate. What you probably want to do is create that beautiful Adobe sort of poster certificate that you've made for, let's say, 20 students. So what you'll notice at the top here is there is a bulk create new pages, which is great for certificates and things like that. So if I click on that, it will load this up and ask you to drag and drop a .csv file, okay, which you can create in Excel. So if I go into Excel very quickly, I am going to make a very quick .csv file and show you how easy it is to do. So the top one is kind of your heading, so it's going to be first name. And the second top heading is going to be my surname one. And then I can put names in there. So I've got myself, Steve Jones. I've got my good friend, Test Student. And my other one that's Hello World. There we go. So they're my 3 students that I want to give this certificate to. I'm going to hit File, Save As. I'm just going to call it Test for now. And instead of saving it as an Excel workbook, I'm going to go down and there's one that says CSV or .csv just there. And if I hit, let's browse and let's stick it in my downloads folder for now. Save it there. I've now got my CSV file that I can use to generate all those certificates. So if I browse, I can find in my downloads my test. I can click it. I can then hit next from there, and it says set up your elements. So I want my first name. If I click on it, I want to connect that element to, and I can choose whether I want the first name column or the surname column from the CSV file. So I'm going to go first name. I want the surname to connect to element. Click on it again, and I want that to be surname. If I hit next, there you go. It's generated a certificate. I've got certificate 1 for Steve Jones, certificate 2 for test student, certificate 3 for Hello World. And I hit create pages. What you'll notice, it puts in a slightly different layout to you, but if you hit back, you've now got down the bottom, just here, page 1, which was your original, page 2, 3, and 4, which are your other ones that you can download and share and so on. So that's really cool in terms of like generating lots of posters. The other thing that's really useful as well is that if you have something like this, there is a translate page option. So if, for example, you've got any students that speak a different language to English, for example, in your lesson, there are, I believe they said, 44, there might be even more now, languages that you can select. Let's just go with the first one, Spanish and French, for example. I can hit translate, and it will also then translate that page that I've got selected into those 2 languages that I've selected automatically. Oh, it's done all of them, in fact. There we go. So you can see it's now got in Spanish all my certificates. It's even translated the names for us. So instead of Hello World, it's got, there you go. There we go, yeah. And then you've got it in French as well. So again, you can get it to generate a page you've got in one language to another very, very quickly, which is nice and easy. So there's some other functions which I found, which I thought were quite nice, which you might want to use. But we're going to go and create our own poster now. We're going to get you something else to do. So if you scroll down, I've lost where it was, I've gone past it. Create a poster. Okay, we can all do this together again now. I'm going to do what I didn't do for the last lot, which is rename in the top, and I'm going to call this task 3. And we're going to have a go at creating, let's say we're going to create a book cover for anything you like. So I'm interested in maths and football, so I'm going to make a book cover about some nerdy maths guy that turned into a pro elite footballer famous across the world. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Right, down the left hand side, let's start off with anything down the left hand side is adding things to your canvas, by the way. Let's start off looking at media. Okay, if you go into media, this is where you can generate an image. I believe there's also a direct generative AI tool just there which kind of does the same thing. You've got photos which you can search for and put in. Anything in Adobe Express, by the way, you're free to use elsewhere, so there's no restrictions on that. You've got videos as well that you can put in. Animate character, which is great. We'll look at that hopefully at the end. And if you want to add any audio in as well, you can record voiceovers. Again, you can record your voice and animate your character to that voice. So loads of things that we can put in. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to photos and we're going to generate another image. I'm going to have a portrait image. And at the minute, there's nothing in there, but I'm going to drag that so it fills my whole screen like so. Now, this is where you get to be creative. I want you to come up with your own little book that you want to create, and you want to think about what that book cover is going to be. So mine is going to be, like I said, it's going to be a nerdy maths student who turns into a pro footballer, you know, against all odds. Everyone just thinks he's good at maths. He's secretly good at football as well. So let's call it like from page to stage, from maths book to amazing. So I want to have a nerdy maths student with a calculator sat at a school desk, but then because he's going to become a footballer, it's going to be in the middle of a football stadium, right? So in the middle of a football stadium with lots of people in the crowd. Let's see what happens. It might be great. I might need to adapt it. Now, again, remember, you can choose your art style. I'm going to keep it as art, so it's a little bit more sort of smooth and playful and what have you, but you can change that if you wish to. Let's see what I get. Okay, feel free to do your own as well, like have a think about what you might want your book cover to look like. If you're unsure, you can copy me, by the way, feel free. Oh, look at that. And Joe, what's even better, we've got some girls in there as well, and because I do girls football, I think I'm going to stick with that. Look at that, so she's actually in the crowd. Which one do we prefer, first or second? That looks more realistic, doesn't it? That's quite a nice view, though. I do like that one as well. Oh, look at, they're all great. Which one do you reckon? I think I've got to go girls football, so I'll do the girls football. This one or this one? That looks like it's got Wembley in the background. Should we go with that one just there? Sat in the crowd, sat in the stadium. For some reason, you can see in the background, there's no football going on. It's been sort of stormed, the pitch has, but never mind. Same with this one, actually. Right, let's go with that one there. So that's my image. So I've got that in my background. I'm going to give you a chance to get your image as well. Have a think about what theme you want to do. Okay. The other thing we want to do is obviously put a title there. So down the left-hand side, you've got your text option as well. So if there's anyone who's sat there going, okay, I've got my generated image, click on text and you can add text. You've got some defaults and some recommended if you want to pick one of them. I'm just going to add the text in straight away. And I'm going to move it up to the top. Now you can adjust your font size just here, or if you click in the corner, you can actually drag it and it changes the font size automatically to fit the space that you've got, which is quite cool. So I said I was going to call it from page to stage. There we go. Oh, it fits perfectly. Although I might want to make it a little bit smaller. Just move it more centrally. How are we doing with the generator in the background? We've got a background, or it's so fun, isn't it? Oh, excuse me. It is really fun, really fun. Has everyone managed to get their image for the backgrounds? Have we managed to put a bit of text in there? What do you reckon the problem with my bit of text is at the minute? Can't see it. So we want to obviously format it. So if I click in it, I've obviously got loads of options down here. Let's start off with the text color for a start. So I can select a color I want. If there's a particular color theme that you've got going on, you can actually select this little tool up here, which then allows you to go and find the exact color you want. So I maybe want it like this, same color as the textbook down here. And so I click on that and it will select that color for you. So I can obviously see that a lot better now. There's also lots of other things you can do, like make it bold. If you go to the text layouts, this is where you've got that dynamic text. So at the minute it's just on one line, but you can see there that it starts to change it dynamically. If maybe I go with that one there, it's a bit more exciting, isn't it? And maybe I can move my image down a little bit. Like that. Okay, now again, it looks quite nice. I quite like that. It's reasonably visible, but what again you can do to make it stand out just a little bit more, because I think there's some light bits in that background, is I can go to effects and I can add some shadows to it. So you can see now that makes it lift off the page a little bit more. You might want more of a smooth one. What other options have we got here? Lift, quite nice. Glow. So you kind of nice sort of background shadow to it, just to lift it off the page and make it a little bit clearer as well. I think that already looks better. Now, the other thing that's really cool with this is actually, I think that colour's a bit boring. You know, actually what I want it to be, because we're talking about like being all mathsy, I want it to be like some squared math paper or some like maths notes like in the background instead of actually it being a colour. So when you look in effects here, you can see generate text effects. And I can click on the little pen and I can describe what I actually want the effect inside to be. So I said maths squared paper, for example. And if I hit generate, there's loads of other options, so feel free obviously to go and have a look at what they are. But instead of having a colour, you'll have a certain sort of theme that you've generated, a certain effect that you've generated. Might take a little bit of time to do it. You can see here I've got 4 options. Oh, look at that. That looks like some proper maths paper there. If I click on this one, it takes a little bit of time just to load it in. But when it's there, you see it's a nice little detail that you've added that, there you go, look, my maths paper in the background. If I just zoom in for you a little bit. Oh, that's writing. There we go. Oh, I'm moving my page. There you go. So if I zoom in just there, you can see I've got this maths paper effect on the from page to stage. Sorry, I can actually see which one I want. It's actually a lot quicker once it's loaded in. So you can generate your own text effect in the background, which is again pretty cool. Seeing as it's got that one there, I'm going to leave it like that, and let's just zoom out. There we go. Okay. Right, what else do we want to do? So we've generated our image, we've added some text, we've generated the effects. Why not animate the text? Let's make it more like a bit of a movie trailer or make something pop in, for example. So again, if you click on your text just here, currently I've got this generate text effects. I can either use the X button or the back button to go back to the text options. And we want to go to animation at the top this time. So I can choose whether I want an effect for it to come in, whether I want an effect to loop, so just to keep going endlessly, whether I want an effect for it to disappear on, so to go out on. It's a bit like your transitions on PowerPoint. Now, you're probably looking and thinking, there's not many options here, really. Okay, let's go with typewriter, for example. There you go, it's typing it in. Okay, but over the top of each of them, when you've selected it, you've got a bunch of settings. So you can then decide, okay, I want it to be character by character. Actually, now I want word by word, a bit quicker. Line by line, which is obviously a lot quicker. Let's do character, so it's a bit more like a typewriter. And I want it to be a little bit longer. I want it to be maybe 2 seconds. So let's see what that looks like. There we go. So now what you'll notice is down the bottom, you've got a timeline of events. Instead of it just being a picture, it's now a video. So if I hit play, there you go, that's my little video that I've created. Bit boring though. Should we add some like sparkly effects? Yeah, there's lots of cute ladies in here. Dave, you look like the sort of person that likes sparkly effects as well. So why don't we add a nice little sparkle background? Or if you want to be a bit more creative, maybe like lightning bolts or something like that. So what we're going to search for now to sort of make that even better is a sort of effect that's got a very dark black background, but then very light effects like you're sparkling on it. So we're going to go down the left hand side to media. We want to find a video, and obviously you can see that currently my video is lasting for 5 seconds. So I want a video that's going to last longer than that. So let's search for, I said sparkles, didn't I? You can be more, you can look for lightning, you can look for anything. So you can see just here, we've got loads of sparkle effects. Find one with a dark background that you quite like the look of. This 10-second one just here, that looks quite nice. So I'm going to add it as a layer on the canvas. Okay. There's my little sparkle effect just there. Now, I'm also going to use the rotate button here just to rotate it round. And you're going to be like, Steve, what are you doing? You're covering up all your great, beautiful work. But I'm going to cover over everything that I've just done there. There you go. I've now got my nice little sparkling effect. If I hit play, there you go, it's sparkling. But I can't see any of my image at the moment. So once you've added your image in, you can click on it, go back to edit instead of animation. So edit, opacity down the bottom right, and go to screen, which reduces the contrast and brightens the details. So if I click that, you can see it's kind of made it a little bit see-through. But now, go back to the start and hit play. There you go, from page to stage, with a nice little sparkling effect over the top as well. Does anyone need me to rewind and do any of those steps again? Please let me know if you're unsure. Drum roll. Can I add a drum roll? Yeah, do you know what? It's not on my things to do, but let's do it. So if you go to media, if we go to audio, and you can search for your drum roll effects. Oh, it doesn't have anything. Maybe you have to record your own drum roll then. An air horn. Have a listen. There you go. Nice. That's a bit like a sort of football chant, isn't it? So again, you can drag this on, drag and drop media as a new scene. And so this has now got that at the front, and you can obviously move it to wherever you want to be. You can drag your sparkles around so it doesn't start straight away, etc., etc. So let's go back to the beginning. It's now going to type right in and have the horn at the front. There you go. You might be able to find a drum roll. Maybe it's because I didn't put a space between drum roll. Let's see if that comes up. Oh, here we go. There you go. So it's because I didn't put a space in. Okay, so again, hopefully you've named that as task 3. As of before, I didn't say on the last one the sort of initial, but you can download it again. And for this one, it's probably best to have it as an MP4 because it's a video, but you can download it as a PNG, for example. If I actually come back out of this, you can see when we did the masterclass this year, just to make it a little bit more interesting, to add something in the background going on, I put on a loop a nice little welcome to the masterclass 2020, and Joe, what, that's ready for next year. You can use that. See, I used the sparkle effect again. That was on a nice little loop, and you've got all the math symbols jumping around and what have you. So it took me like literally 2 minutes to do, but it meant that it wasn't just a black screen, that there was something there that was a little bit fun for them to have in the background. Right. I think if you go to your stuff, you should have pretty much everything that I wanted you to create, bar an animated character, which is my favourite part. And we're making good time as well, to be fair. So we said an hour. We started just after 1:15, so we're nearly at the hour mark. Okay, so what I want you to do, go back to your home page. I should ask first, is everyone good to move on? Have we all got our book cover, etc.? Okay, so if you scroll down and we go to animate character. Okay, so you can see the one that I've used at the minute is a little stick man, and he's in a school setting. Now, you can search for various, these are all costume characters. You can look at all of them. There's literally loads of them. Unfortunately, you can't personalize any of them, so you can't change the colors of the outfits or anything like that. But there is so many in there, I'd be surprised if you can't find something at least relevant to what you want. Even down to what I like to do when I do my maths videos is classroom things, so I can get a pencil, ruler, or calculator to do some talking for me, which is great. So what I want you to do, find your character that you want. I want you to select your background as well. Now, again, if you want to be able to download this, don't pick a transparent background. And I'm going to suggest you don't as well, because actually at a later point, if you decide you don't want the background, there's a great option where you can remove backgrounds from videos. So if I had a video of my face, I can just remove everything that's going on in the background. It does a really good job of it. So I'm going to recommend not doing that. But pick your character. You can obviously click on it, drag it around, make it bigger, smaller by dragging. And then I want you to find your setting that you want to put it in. So I had a classroom, I don't know where that's gone now. Let's put them in nature. There we go. Now we're all going to do this together. So because there's lots of people that are going to be talking, like a classroom, we're going to click this enhance speech option. Now, if you forget to click that, there is an option to enhance the speech afterwards as well. But I think it's always good to just tick it anyway. And what that does is if there's any noise in the background that's going on, it will cancel out. And it does an amazing job at it. Like, you'll be surprised in a noisy classroom how much it actually manages to cancel out. I need to figure out what I'm going to say now. So once you've got your character, your background, you've enhanced the speech. So if we're all saying something at the same time, it doesn't matter. Hit record, you're going to get a 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm a stick man, and I'm just showing you how to animate a character on Adobe Express. Now, I was going to click done, but if you hit pause, you can actually then resume later on. So if you want to, you're like, oh, I've said part of what I want to, and I want to carry on and do more, you can then resume it. As soon as you're done, though, hit done. It takes a minute or so to generate the character, but just bear with it because the end product is fantastic. And if you've not already, if you want to start having a go at getting your character and doing a bit of recording, but you know what, that's another thing. So what I've done, I was feeling very ill. So when I created my maths website, I didn't want to do any speaking because my throat, I sounded horrible. I sound horrible today, to be fair, losing my voice. But I used text to speech, and I saved an audio file, and you just get that audio file and upload that instead. So you can take someone else's voice, attach it, and you get it to animate. So you can see now it's finally started to start generating it. Text to speech. I can give you some websites. There's also nice apps. You see I've got an app down here at the bottom, which is a text to speech app which you can use. It's not brilliant, but you know, it saves you having to do the voice. If you want to pay for one of them, you can get some really good ones as well. So this is what I've produced. Hi, I'm a stick man, and I'm just showing you how to animate a character on Adobe Express. Do I have a list like that? That sounds horrible. I'm going to blame the enhanced character on that. I'm just going to pretend I don't have a list, but I probably do. So you can download it as a video. You can open it in Editor. So you can obviously then start editing it. If you do that, you can then save it to your files as well. So I reckon we should all have a go at animating a character. I'm going to call this task 4. We've got that saved. And again, from there, you can download it if you wish to. What I mentioned as well, by the way, and then I will let you have a go, about removing background. I'll show you how good it is. So that's my little stick man there. If you decide later you actually don't want the background, hit remove background. It takes a little bit of time, but you can do this with yourself if you're taking a photo, whether it's an animated character, stick man, anything you want. If you've got like a boat in the sea, it will remove the background and leave the boat. It's really, really good. So yeah, it's a great thing that you can use. You can also adjust, there you go, so the background's completely gone, but I've got the same video. Hi, I'm a stick man, and I'm just showing you how to animate a character. Yeah, that's not. Because we all love listening to our own voices, don't we? Okay. So over to you. I'm going to give you, like, literally, because I'm very conscious of time now, 2-3 minutes to get your animated character recorded. Do it all together so you can try out the enhanced sound, and then I'll go through just a few other things which are useful at the end, and then we're done. Over to you. It's a maximum of 2 minutes. Yeah, so I did like 10 seconds. So yeah, good question. So you see mine down the bottom here actually is just 9 seconds long. You can do up to 2 minutes. Did it work? Yeah, to be fair, Amy has done this, but she featured in one of my maths videos. Oh, do you know what? Right, so I've got to show you this as well. Please, like, have a go at Karen recording. And the noise cancelling will cancel me out if I'm talking, so it should still get your voice if you try and record. So I apologise for talking over you. But if you go back to animate character, one of the things that you will notice in there, you can upload a photo, and then you can go to, and I think there's something called lips or mouth only. There you go, mouth only. So you can select a mouth, and you can put it over the top of a picture of someone and animate that mouth speaking. The other thing you said, you've obviously got an app on your phone. You can get the Adobe Express app on your phone, so you can animate a character, you can save it to your phone. As long as you have a background to it, it won't let you save it to your phone if you've not got a background. But when you've not got a background, you can then use that in Adobe Express to have things going on in the background. So that's why that option's there. But yeah, I could just have a mouth talking if I wanted to in the sky. Another option. Has everyone done all the recording they want to? You look like you done it?
Yeah.
Have you played it back? Go on, let's. That's great. That is. So, when you're in your animate character, I'm just wondering whether I can actually do it with this. Yeah. Just double check, 'cause if you didn't enhance the sound, you can enhance speech here, remove noise and echo. So if you forgot to click it, Joe, the remove background, when you click on it, just here in edit, click enhance sound. So I think, Dave, yours had a little bit of background noise in. If you click on your image in the editor and click enhance speech, it'll go through the whole process again. I'm enhancing my speech again, so it might give me a bigger lisp. Again, it's definitely nothing to do with the way that I was talking. Should we see? Hi, I'm a stick man. Oh, Jesus. I'm a stick man. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, if you've obviously already took it to, I forgot what it's called. The editor, that's right. Then no, you can't. I don't think. But while you're in animate character, if you record something and you don't like it, hello, I'm just trying out recording again. So what will happen is you'll have an option to redo it or upload audio. I don't think so. But from that perspective, it's just as easy to do it again. And so let's have a look what the options are. oh, so I've got this just here that I can play. I won't do that again. I think I've put myself through enough torture. But if I don't like it, I can go back and it would. So I've still got the preview just here. So I've still got the video. So if I go, actually, I did want that one. And then I can download open it editor, but I can go back and go, okay, I want to replace the audio, and I can do it again. Yeah.
Before you send it out.
Okay. Just a few more things, very quickly. Okay. Number one, I will send out an email that has a link to all the useful stuff, the video recording, so you can hear my list all over again, all of that good stuff. Within that email, I'll also give you a link to get your Adobe Creative Educator badge and certificate, because by taking part today, you've earned that. You'll have to sign up to Credly, but it's really good to have, and you can show that off. You can put it in like little digital signatures and things like that as well to show that you have engaged with Adobe, which is fab. I plan to do another training session after half term. This was very much the basics, like you probably tell, like create an image, do this, where actually we'll put all of these things together. We'll make a website, we'll put pictures in it, we'll put text in it, we'll do all of that good stuff. But we'll also make a sort of animated movie, or not movie, that makes it sound a bit extravagant, a sort of animated 10-second video to do with the Titanic. So we'll try something like that. The only other thing that I will include in the email is I've got, having used it, some Adobe suggestions, some things that I think would be really cool to add. And one of them, for instance, is, and I've got it loaded up just here, I think, having in your text options as a maths teacher, being able to put maths text in there, like powers, fractions, square roots, things like that. So there is a recommended features website, and if you're using it, you think, oh, I don't know how to do that, you can actually go on and you can recommend a feature, and they're really good. The thing you got to do is get lots of upvotes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on all of my suggestions. Now, the very first one, this maths one, was actually something that's been suggested already. So when I was searching for it, I was like, oh, there's already one there. Let's upvote that one, and I'm going to get everyone to go. I'm going to ask you all to go and upvote that one as well. Let's just try again. It's not very good. Oh no. We'll try one more time. If not, I won't show you. Oh, I shut the website down. And my links. All right, one more time. There we go. So you can see I've gone in, I've voted. Hopefully they've approved my comment now. Ah, there you go. Look, I agree. Something that da, da, da. So I've gone and added to that, and I've also put a little snippet in of what you can kind of do in. This was PowerPoint, so I've said, look, they're all the options you've got in terms of maths when you're in PowerPoint, and these are some of the crazy formulas that you might use. That one's in GCSE, that one's obviously A-level, but I thought, Joe, what, I want to be able to use all these symbols. You never know when you might have to use them. And I think from a science perspective, Dave, as well, that'd be really useful as well. So you can go in there and you go, yeah, I love that, voted, tick it up. So my 5 suggestions are having a text-to-speak option for the animated characters. So I'm going to go recommend that, or I'm going to find one, and we can all go and upvote it if you agree. So instead of having to record your own voice and have a list like me, you can just type in what you want, and it comes out with a nice AI-generated voice. The second one, being able to customize your animated characters. So although they've got quite a lot of preset ones, just having a default character go, I want it to have a white top, no hair, or blue shirt, no hair, glasses, and you just take like black trousers, whatever. So nothing fancy, but you can almost choose the color theme and personalize it a little bit more. Second suggestion. Third one is the master text options, which you've just seen. So you can go and upvote that. Even if you're not a maths teacher, please go and do it. Fourth one, I think, would be a really good record screen option. So if you're drawing something, that you can actually record what you're doing in the screen. Like if you're modeling something like a teacher, and have that put in your Adobe as a video. And lastly, it doesn't apply, you haven't seen it yet, but currently, if I make a video, I can put a drawing in there, I can put an animated character, I can export the video, and I can put that video on a website. But if I wanted to get all of it to update. Let's say I changed the drawing slightly because I thought, oh, I messed up that example. So I change it. I'd have to first update the picture, and then I'd have to go and update the video, and then I'd have to go and update the website, and it would all sync together. But I almost want a force all update option where it just does all of that automatically. So that's my 5th suggestion. So please, if I put a link to them, go and thumbs up or you know, vote up those suggestions, whether it's mine or someone else's, and it helps get them sort of added feature-wise. Other than that, thank you for coming. Hopefully enjoyed it. Hopefully come to the next one, and there may well be some Adobe swag at the next one from the lady that I spoke to from Adobe, which is like all sort of cool Adobe stuff. So please come to the next one. It'll be, you know, the next level. I don't know yet, sometime after half term, but I'll email you all.